time to get into this video. We are going to talk about all things first day of school. Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back to our channel. My name's Kenzie and I'm one half of the sister duo over here. Today we are going to talk about the first day of school. I'm going to give you some tips and tricks with that for if you're in the classroom or if you are digital, at least with what my plans are. And then also we have a giveaway to talk about. We're going to chat today about that. We are going to take our party pony selves over to the very first part of this video, which is the giveaway. But first, I have had so many people ask me on Instagram, I've had some people ask me on Facebook, and definitely on YouTube in some of our comments, what lashes do you use? Okay, so I use these Ardell Mega Volumes in the 252 number. If you go on Amazon, you can get 8 of these, so you get 2 packs for like $12 or maybe $15. Okay, let's get into this giveaway. When I started getting items for this giveaway, I thought, what does my focus need to be? I looked at other people's giveaways and I wanted it to be personalized. So everything you find in this giveaway are things that I truly could not live without myself. The first thing you can find in this giveaway are the 50 strategies for cognitive engagement. If you want to have some really cool activities and ways to engage your students while also getting them to those cognitive levels they need to be at. The other 2 book style items that are going to be in this giveaway are my ride or die. They are the first bound copies of Mice and Men and The Great Gatsby. If you do not know what these are and you're not just like jumping in your seat right now, go check out our other video on this after you've watched this video. You get both of these. I didn't want to part with them, but I thought if I want to make this really special, I want to give the very first ones that I bound. Alright, the next 2 things are just, I've talked about them constantly. I am obsessed. They are the Papermate Flair tip pens. I love these things so much, and if I love them, you will love them too. Another thing that you'll find in this giveaway are 16 Expo markers. So I picked a pack that if you're more of a primary gal, you will be set up because there's 2 of each of those colors. Then if you want to get a little crazy like I do, my favorite color is the lime green, but you will also have those as well in this pack. So you get a huge pack of Expo markers. You truly can never have enough, whether you're digitally teaching or in person, because they dry out so quickly. The next thing that I do not have in my space right now, because it's in there and it'll make sense in a second, but something I don't have in my space right now that is also part of the giveaway, we're going to throw up a picture right here, is a Waliki ball, but the color of your choice. So from my Amazon list, I gained a bunch of different colors. I have green, pink, blue, gray. So whenever you win the giveaway, you will be asked what color ball you would like. And last but not least, you will be receiving a $25 Amazon gift card to use on whatever you like. But did I mention that we're also going to be entering 3 sets of Davis Casvel earrings in this giveaway? Again, those will be a surprise, so you gotta head over to our Instagram account to see the post itself, which will be live as this video is live. The rules for this giveaway can be found in the description box below. It's pretty simple. You just have to make sure that you're subscribed to our channel, that you're following me on Instagram on both the personal and teacher accounts. Maddie, I don't know if you want me to say to follow you as well.
Let's try that again.
So the rules are pretty simple. You just have to make sure that you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, that you follow all of our Instagram accounts, and that at the end of this, you are sharing the Instagram post on my teacher Instagram. This giveaway will close on August 7th. With that being said, it is time to get into this video. We are going to talk about all things first day of school. I mentioned in a lot of previous videos, I can't even count how many videos I've mentioned this in, that my first day of school spans almost 2.5 to the 3 first days of school. And the reason for this is I completely 100% prioritize and value building a community. You are preventing future behavior issues because you're building those relationships early. So I mentioned in my Drive With Me video that my classroom management style is proactive rather than reactive. So for the very first day, I'm gonna first walk you through the planning process. The reason that there's so much meticulous planning for that very first day that happens weeks and potentially months before that day even comes is because if you think about it, on a regular school day in the middle of the semester or the middle of the year, your students already know the expectations, they already know what your values are, they already really know you more as a person if you're doing it right. When students walk in on the very first day of school, they have no idea where anything is. They don't know what your expectations are. They don't know what the class is going to look like. They don't know what the daily behaviors that are expected are going to be looking like. They don't know if they can go to the bathroom without asking. Nothing has been set up yet. So that is your job on that very first day. That's a lot of stuff to share on the very first day, knowing that in the high school setting, my students are getting all of that kind of information from their 3 other teachers in 90 minutes. So they're being talked at quite a bit, and that's why I don't do anything like that on the first day. So let's talk more about planning. Leading up to the first day of school, there's a lot of detail-oriented things to do. There's so many different things and moving parts. Take it one step at a time. So before you get overwhelmed, I am going to share a list of things just off the top of my head, and also from the list sitting next to me, that you should be considering while planning for the first day of school. You should consider items on your syllabus, how you want the students to enter the classroom, where you want your students to sit, what your cell phone policy is, what your bathroom policy is, what your expectation is for turning in homework, where you want them to turn in homework, expectation for turning in classwork or tests or quizzes, where you want them to turn in those class tests or quizzes, your expectations for participation, what is your expectation for their communication with you? Do you want them to email you, or are you okay with them just coming up to your desk and telling you? Personally for me, just a little side note, if they come and tell me, I'm gonna forget and they know it. If you're into digital content like YouTube or Instagram or even Twitter, do you have any sort of expectation for how they complete their work so you can share it online? Do you have some sort of waiver in the event that you do photograph them so that way you have the permission from their parents? Or is that something that the school already has in place? I know that was a lot. There's so many other things that you could possibly consider, but those are the things that I considered. And that's something that you can make just a detailed list about and then tackle them one at a time. Don't think about tackling everything. So with the planning out of the way, we're gonna move into what the first day of school looks like for me. So when my students walk into the classroom on the first day of school, they are first met with me. I am always standing at the door. That's something that I prioritize on a regular day, but most definitely on the first day of school. So once my students walk in, they're met with my expectations before the bell rings. And again, this is something I use every day. It's my morning slide. So on my morning slide, some things that they are asked to do are to find their seat based on some sort of problem or puzzle. So I use this strategy to make sure that the clicks are a little bumped and bruised so that way they know that they are not going to sit in that same friend group for the entire year. The next thing that they can find on the first day of school is where to collect their syllabus. It's very detailed. And then the last thing is something really fun, because at the high school level we tend to move away from those fun little kind of meaningless activities, but meaningful in a sense that they create community. So they're asked some crazy question. What would be the rudest animal and why? And as I do attendance later on, then I ask them that question at the same time. At the end of the semester, when I took a survey, my students really talked about, especially my seniors, how they appreciated those types of questions. I've welcomed them in, I've taken attendance, and now it's time for them to get to know me. This is a resource that I will be sharing for free. Hopefully you enjoy it and you can use it for yourself. Investigate the teacher is not an idea that I came up with myself. I can't remember which Instagram teacher I found this with, but I created the handout for myself, and that's why I'm offering it for you today for free. You can take the information, format it yourself, or you can use my format. It's totally up to you. Funny quick story, which I think that y'all will find hilarious. This second semester, I did transfer halfway through the year. So students had a teacher that ended up not continuing, and so their schedules were made at the very beginning of the year, actually over the summer. I had students walk in, I greeted them, I took attendance, which should have given them an indication that they were in the right class, but anyway. And this happened every single block, by the way. But by third block, I had really a lot of fun with it. I introduce myself and say, hi, I'm Miss Evans. Check your schedule to make sure that you have the right teacher. And I got a bunch of these faces. Freak out in first block because I'm thinking, oh my goodness, I'm in the wrong classroom. But then it hit me, I just took attendance and they're on my roster. So I start to walk around and look at their schedules, and they all say this different teacher's name, but it gives them my classroom. And it hits me.
Mackenzie, you're the one that came in halfway through the year when they were supposed to have this other teacher.
It was really funny. We ended up having a laugh about it, but that truly gave every student in the classroom a mini heart attack, and I kind of felt bad about it. And then after that, I say these words. I'm about to hand out this activity, and what I want you to do is read the directions. You can work by yourself, with a partner, or with a small group, and complete it within the end of this timer. And then I post this really cool timer. You can just search it on YouTube, but it's like a digital rave style timer, and I give them 20 minutes to complete this activity. Walking you quickly through the activity, they have to roam the room for 4 pieces of evidence, and then once they collect those 4 pieces of evidence, they have to create a suspect bio of who they think I am as a teacher and as a person. Once the timer is up, I have them work with somebody else. They have to compare and contrast their findings, and then we talk about the importance of really getting to know somebody. I share different things, ask what they found, clarify anything that they may have questions on. Always a really fun, engaging conversation. I find this activity to be 10 times better than any pre-scripted conversation or discussion about me. It allows the students to be little FBI agents because, trust me, high school students at least are FBI agents to the max. And it shows them that I like interactive, things. Once they've completed that activity, they move on to the student profile. So this is that interest inventory that is like 50 questions long. The point of making the first day of school a more lax environment than what your typical day may look like is to allow students to get comfortable before you tighten that rein up, and then introduce those policies more on the second day. Typically, them completing that student profile does take up to the end of class. So then I make sure that they have the syllabus in front of them, and I tell them that tomorrow we will have our syllabus showdown. And with our syllabus showdown, they have to know all of those pieces and policies because they will not have the syllabus in front of them. This requires them to look at that syllabus because there is always a sweetener to it. For me, I give them extra credit on that very first vocabulary quiz. I also tell them that they will be placed in groups, and depending on their reaction to tomorrow's activities that come before that will depend on whether or not they get to pick their groups. Again, showing them you can have autonomy, but it just depends on your behavior. So I send them home with not really homework because depending on how much class time we have left, they can look over the syllabus. It's not that big, it's front and back. Coming in on day 2, it's the same stuff in the morning. I collect their syllabus because it has to be signed, so they do not have access to their syllabus. And then I start to break them up into their group. I end up letting them do whatever, be in whatever group they want to be in. I give them 30 seconds to pick their group. So if they do not pick their group within 30 seconds, I have pre-assigned groups. Then we start the syllabus showdown. Make sure all of your policies are in your syllabus, and then you won't have issues in the future when you ask them what those questions are. They get into that game mode of, oh, it is this. I end up giving a tiered down points system for every other group. So if like the first group gets 10, the second group gets 8, 6, 4. Day 3 is focusing on the similarities and differences. Again, this all aligns with my curriculum, like in my standards for my state. Day 3 is focused on analyzing the data from their student profiles that they took on day 1. The reason I do it on day 3 is because it allows me more time to analyze the data myself and put it into stations that are manageable and make sense. We also potentially would take some sort of personality quiz, explain on the next day that we will be doing a similar station-based run, but with skills. How to annotate, how to summarize, how to do constructive responses in my class. It's a crazy time. I really enjoy how I've structured it in the past. If your next question is how are you gonna make those things digital, Zoom breakout rooms. So if you did not know that Zoom can create breakout rooms, or Google Hangouts can do the same thing, it is possible. It just takes more planning on your part. Along with that, digital stations require a lot more planning on your part. This would be in the form of potentially a Google slide, just getting really creative. You want to do a drag and drop interactive slide situation where they take certain answers and throw it where it's supposed to go. All you have to do is make the worksheet itself the background, and then you just take the different pieces and allow those to be moved around. Students are a little discouraged. They're really discouraged. We're discouraged. And I want to make their experience with me just a little bit brighter. I hope that you found this video informational. I know it was a lot, and if you have questions, please feel free to ask them below, and I could include them in a future video. In the next couple of weeks, you will see some different things, including vlogs of me moving into my classroom, some interview tips and tricks if you're interviewing for school districts. Also, I forgot to mention, Madison will be going to Disney in August, so you'll be seeing those videos as well. Don't forget that the giveaway is live. Go and head over to my teacher Instagram to start sharing that post. That's it for today's video. I love you guys, and I hope that you have an amazing week. Be positive, hug somebody, and go be awesome for your students because they deserve it and you deserve it. Bye. Last but not least, you will be, that was upside down. There's a fly. Did it go in my hair? I can't hear it anymore.